Okay, so here we have a formula that you've seen before. It is the point-slope formula. So this equation right here, this formula allows you to get the equation of a line if you know the slope of the line and if you know a point, x1, y1, that is on the line itself. And so you see the x1, y1 in here, and you see the slope is given as m, as usual. So in an example like this one, where it wants an equation of a line that passes through the point -3, 5 and has a slope of -2/5. Well, in terms of a sketch, you would have a point that is at -3, 5. So it's up here. And you're going to do a slope, rise over run. So your slope is going to be -2/5. So that would mean you would go down 2 and go over 5. And that's where your second point would be. And you could then draw your line through there and to visualize what that is. But if we want to know the equation of that, we're not 100% sure where it crosses. So we can't use y = mx + b. But this formula lets you get to it straight away because we can use x1 and y1. x1 is going to be -3, y1 is going to be 5, and my slope is going to be -2/5. So you can go straight to your equation. Y subtract y1 means 5 will equal the m, which is -2/5, x subtract x1, which is a -3. So I'm going to deal with the negative in the brackets first. So -2/5, x minus -3 means x plus 3. So this would be the equation written in the point-slope form. But you're going to generally want to also write this in the point-intercept form as well. So you're going to want to take this equation and also make it look like y = mx + b. So the way you do that is you follow a series of algebra steps to get y by itself. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take this number and we'll distribute it on each of those terms. So I'll get y subtract 5 equals -2/5 x, and then you get -2/5 times 3. So now you're multiplying, and the way you multiply those is you treat 3 as 3 over 1, and that's a fraction. So you'll get 1 minus 5. You get -2/5 x, and when you multiply 2 times 3 you get 6, 5 times 1 you get 5. Now your last step that you would do is you're going to take this -5 to the other side and add it. I'm running out of a bit of room, so I'll do it here. So I'll get y equals -2/5 x. I have the -6/5 there already, and then I'm going to add 5. Well, that's a 5 over 1. The way you add fractions is you have to get a common denominator between the 5 and the 1. So we're going to scale this one up and multiply it by 5 on top and bottom. So that's going to become -2/5 x minus 6/5 plus 25/5, which then simplifies lastly to y equals -2/5 x and plus 25 and -6 makes plus 19 over 5. Now, I admit that those are not the most appealing fractions you've ever seen, but it is the equation nonetheless. So if we'd have gone back to the beginning and my picture that I just hastily drew up here made it look like it was crossing somewhere around 3 or 4, and it's because it didn't even have this point in the right spot at 5, right? It looked like it was at about 4. So you can't just rely on a hastily scrawled graph to try and get that. This is the exact equation. This is the exact same equation as that one. They're just written different ways. They both give you the same graph that corresponds to that. So your goal is going to be to follow a similar series of steps here for 2 questions that are on your worksheet A and B. And you're going to try and get the equation of the line in the slope-intercept form as well as the point-slope form.